Game na? So go.
Oh, thank you,
Alright.
Rose.
Okay, Marilyn, ready? VP? Okay. All right. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 11th episode of SSAP's Ministreams. Today's Ministreams is sponsored by the Catholic Women's League SSAP unit. So let us begin with an opening prayer. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear Lord, thank you for this wonderful opportunity to come together for this webinar. May you extend your wisdom to our speaker so that she'll be able to impart her knowledge to all of us, and bless her as she continues to bring her expertise to people who need it. Bless the participants as well so that we will be able to learn and spread what we will be learning in the spirit of your love and generosity. We ask this in the name of Jesus our Lord.
Amen.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good afternoon, everyone. So before we proceed to the talk proper, just a reminder, we will be muting everyone and there will be a Q&A portion after the talk. So for the Q&A, you may unmute yourself or you can also type your question in the chat box. So with that, let us begin. We're so fortunate and very blessed to have Marilyn Elizalde as our speaker for today, who is here to help us understand the value of mental and emotional health, how these two are interconnected to our overall well-being. And she will also explain how essential oils can help us achieve overall wellness and how to incorporate them in our daily life. Marilyn has been a friend and a co-parent, but to give a more complete background of her wellness journey, let me call VP Irvas, who is a consultant and has been working with Marilyn for quite some time. So may we call VP?
Hi, thank you for that introduction. Well, I'd like to first begin by introducing Marilyn also as my friend. You know, Marilyn's a very easy friend to have talaga and she's been very instrumental with my own wellness journey. So that's because she's a wellness advocate, she's a yoga teacher, she's an aromatherapist, my essential oil ate, a workshop facilitator, and a lifelong learner. She is passionate in sharing her knowledge and skills to people who would like to stay healthy and would grow through a wellness journey. Together with Marilyn, I have been able to curate and customize learning programs for specific groups like yours, companies, and even individuals to help them understand the importance of staying above the wellness line. As she speaks, the chat box will be open. It's available for any questions and comments. And she may not be able to see it because she's talking. So I'm here to help her out, respond to all of those questions, and I'll chat with you. So with no further ado, I'd like to open the call now to Marilyn Elizalde.
Thank you very much, VP and Karen. Thank you, Karen, and the CWL group for graciously inviting us to come and share and impart our knowledge on essential oils. And I hope that, you know, we will be able to really share our passion for wellness. And hopefully some people will take a few, there's a little bit of noise chatter. Some people will be able to get a few nuggets and learn a few things that can help in our wellness journey. So let me begin by sharing. Actually, no, I won't share my screen. Let me ask first one question. How have we all been feeling, you know, lately? It's been about a year and a half since this pandemic has started. And the biggest question I have is, how are we all feeling? We have been locked down for so long. I'm sure the very beginning of this lockdown, we were, excited because some of us haven't seen our children in a long time, or our husbands have been working so hard. So we were thrilled to have our families at home. But I think towards the end, towards the latter part of last year, and now we're through the second part of this year, our feelings have changed. No? So I will begin instead with an audience participation. So VP, can we share? I'm going to share my screen. Okay, hold on. Here we go. And get straight to the point. Let me just hold on. I'm not seeing this. So please go to menti.com. Please just go to menti.com and use the code 44504501 or use the QR code and answer the question. And I will, VP, can you put this on the chat box so I will show everyone to see how everybody has been feeling this year, okay? This is quite fun and it's quite an interesting activity. Okay, I will stop sharing this and continue sharing another. Okay. Share the screen again. Share screen. Are people answering now? Let's see. Okay, some people are feeling stress, mental fatigue, anxiety. It's an interesting, this is live, ladies, ladies and gentlemen, this is live. So there are several people feeling different things. A lot of people are feeling stress because we don't know what's happening. We don't know where we're going, what's going to happen. We are afraid of what's going on. Are we going to get sick? Mahahawa ba tayo with, what's whoever we come in contact with? We don't know. Some people are also feeling depressed. Mental fatigue, that is major because a lot of us are working from home and we, although it's fun to be working from home, but creatively and productively, many offices are feeling that the workforce is not as productive as they used to. Okay, so far, do we have more or less a good number of people, or at least a good feeling of how people are, or a read of how people are feeling in the room? Stress. Mataas ang stress level ngayon. That's so true. Yes. Depression, mental fatigue. Okay, I will stop sharing this one and share my slides now. Okay. Here we go. Share. Okay. Play. It's hold on, ladies. Okay. This is a bit of the technical side that I'm still here. Where are we? New share. Wait. Sorry. I'll try this again. Share my screen. And then new share. Sorry. There we go. Good. We learn something new when we are okay. Whoops. It's not working the way I want it to work. Hold on. So anyway, while we're working on this, we have been feeling a lot. Okay, we've been. Hold on, sorry. Sorry, guys. BP, can you just help out here first?
Yeah, so while Marilyn is looking for her slides and getting into it, what we're trying to say is, so within the last probably a year or so, when Marilyn and I were talking, we've been going through different feelings, and the feelings are probably different every day. So today I feel anxious, tomorrow I feel depressed, the next day I feel like I want to see my friends, I miss my friends, I want to go to church, I want to sit down in my pew, I want to see
Surviving and thriving.
Yes.
Pero
Okay.
I think it's about essential oils.
There are we.
Elizalde,
Okay.
Marilyn Elizalde and speaker.
Okay, are we? I'm good to go.
Ng araw, bakit kumukulog? Wag naman sana uulan.
Who's that?
Okay, thank you. So here we go. Let's face it. Okay, we have all been feeling stress, as you saw in the Menti, in the work that we were doing earlier. A lot of people were feeling stressed. A lot of people were feeling anxiety. There were also feelings of mental fatigue and depression. It's not funny, okay? It's gotten to a point where most of us are looking like this already, okay? You know, we're dealing with our family, our spouses, our children. We're even worried about what to feed our kids. And then on top of it, we cannot forget to leave our homes with masks, diba? Ang hirap-hirap nito. It's gotten to a point where even if you go to the doctor, okay, not too many medicines are going to be given to you to help cope with stress and anxiety. The doctors will tell you, okay, you change your diet. Or hindi, lumabas kayo, mag-exercise kayo. They will not give you any medication that will help. And if they give you some medication, it's probably to calm you down and make you go to sleep, right? Most medications have serious side effects. And the truth is, many people are actually more afraid of the medicinal side effects than the mental health disorder that they're experiencing. So we really, really need to take, a good look and evaluate what we are taking. Because the side effects might be worse than the anxiety or the mental fatigue or the depression that you're feeling, right? Now, so going into this, my question is, everybody now, there's this fad about wellness and people are all talking about, sige na, let's go. And we have to start feeling this, going through this wellness journey. But do we really know about what wellness means? What does wellness mean to you? Okay. So I'll go back to Manti and see, if to see how you guys are feeling. What does wellness mean to you? What do you think, or to you, what to you is a definition of wellness? I will stop sharing this. Okay. And go into wellness. Let's see what people are thinking. Okay, so that was us. Let's go. What does wellness mean to me? I will share this screen again. And okay, so go to Menti, same number, 44504501. What does wellness mean to you? So please answer. It can any word that you feel that is the definition of wellness. Let's see. Oh, balance. Nice. That's a good word.
Yes, ma'am. What's the word?
Balance.
Balance.
Wellness can mean balance. That means there's a balance in your life, in emotional, your mental state. Yes, that's a good one. Anybody else with a definition of wellness? Karen, you have to answer question.
That was my answer.
That was your answer. There you go. Look at that. Security.
I couldn't get
well.
in.
Oh, you couldn't just Menti that. Try again, Bing. Calm, balance, being with family, laughing. Yes, laughter is a very good medicine. Sometimes we really forget to laugh. That's so true. Zen. Eating well. Okay. Kulang pa yan. Marami pang definitions of wellness. Or like for me, one of the things I really love to do is practice yoga, because it gives me the balance. It grounds me. It also helps me physically because it helps me. I stretch my body.
Hey.
There you go. You got in.
Yeah.
Okay. Being with family, quality of life. This is so nice, right? Joy, prayer. Yes, definitely prayer. Peace of mind. Okay. Nice. I love CWL's definition of wellness. You should actually take a screenshot of this when everybody finishes answering, because it's so nice. Exercise, yes. Eating right. These are actually nothing new. These answers are so true. It's just a matter of how we put them together in our lives. And that's where that word balance comes from. What happened? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm hearing something. Okay. All right. I'll stop this now. Okay. Let's go back to the presentation. Okay. So Definition of wellness. Let's share this again. Curse. No share. It's crazy, these things. Okay. So, here. I will quote, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm not sure if you can hear me or my earphones are dead.
No, we hear you clearly.
Okay.
Marilyn.
All right. So to quote, I am going to quote Pfizer. Funnily enough, Pfizer, that drug company, is very, very popular nowadays, right? Wellness is the act of practicing healthy habits on a daily basis to attain better physical and mental health outcomes so that instead of just surviving, we're thriving. Okay. And to understand, the significance of wellness, we really need to know how it's linked to health. Okay. How do you attain physical health outcomes? Exercise. You eat well. You eat good food, good ingredients. Okay. How do you attain mental health outcomes? Okay. Pero teka muna, we were, when we were growing up in school, we weren't really taught this, right? We weren't taught to have mental goals, correct? I used to be a teacher in my former life, many, many years ago. Karen knows this and Bing knows this. I actually met Bing years ago when I was teaching her daughter Pili school, right? So that was my former life. And I remember a veteran teacher telling me, you should take your sick leaves because as teachers, even as people, we don't take our sick leaves. Sometimes we want to save it kasi sayang, right? We turn it into cash because sayang din the income if we don't use the sick leave. But that teacher told me, take a mental day. Take a mental day because you know what? You need it. You need to take a break. You need to be quiet. You need to get yourself out there to rest so that you can come back the next day to be a better teacher or to be a better person. So you can, take a mental day. You can take a mental day out of your being a wife or being a consultant or even being a mom. You can take a few hours just to take it for yourself to come back, to recharge, to reset, to be a better person, to be able to serve them better. Diba? So these are little practices. Okay, these are little practices. So another way, so it's like going back to the definition of wellness, mental health outcomes. We were really not taught that in school. We were taught to get good grades, study hard, work hard, but we were never really taught how to be, happy, how to be at peace, right? And we really need that right now, nowadays. Okay. A holistic approach to taking care of ourselves is to respect the relationship between the mind, the body, and the spirit, or the physical, mental, and emotional aspects of well-being. We really need to treat the whole person. Okay. You cannot simply separate one from the other. All three go hand in hand. Being in lockdown has affected all of us in more ways than we can imagine. And we can simply say that our overall well-being has been affected. We're not thriving. We're really literally just surviving. Okay. So how do we take care of ourselves so that we're actually thriving and not just surviving? I want to share with you how I was able to up my game in terms of surviving and thriving, especially at this time. A few years ago, I was introduced to the world of therapeutic grade essential oils. I was so lucky to have been introduced to them years ago because, I didn't realize it then. I realize it now in hindsight that it really changed my life. It really helped me emotionally. It really also physically and spiritually. The changes were subtle. Okay. When I got my first box of oils, I think my husband and I slept so well that very first night, just inhaling lavender and diffusing lavender at home. That very first night, we never, we said, wow, that was a really nice and peaceful sleep. And it doesn't have to be like a major change. It was just a small little thing like that, no? And we have to realize that these oils are plant-based products. There's something that comes, the symbiotic relationship between plants and human beings. It's crazy. Okay, plants will not survive 3 days, if there are no humans in this world, and humans, vice versa, will not survive without plants. So it really has a relationship. And using essential oils made me discover this new modality that supports my wellness journey. Okay. This modality took time. It didn't happen overnight. Okay. I got to know my oils one little by little. It helped me super emotion. Physically also, I started learning that some oils like wintergreen, you'd be surprised, is in Bengay. And we have an oil called wintergreen that I actually make my own massage oils. For my own muscle aches and pains, I use my oils myself. So it really changed my world, right? But you have to realize that, as we keep trying to maintain some sort of normalcy in our home environment, we also somehow have created an imbalance within ourselves. The key to wellness is finding a way to balance within ourselves, our whole person. This is not a quick fix. I'm not telling you, sige, basta you have essential oils, may wellness na kayo. Of course not. Okay, that's just one modality that's helped me thrive. Okay, so what I'm going to share with you is basically the 5 pillars of health that we feel, okay, will be able to help you maybe achieve some sort of balance in life. Okay, and with this pillar, okay, these 5 pillars, you will see one will not survive without the other. Okay, so let's get into this one. The 5 pillars of health. We have been studying this for quite some time, and after much research, these 5 pillars are what we feel we need to focus on to keep ourselves balanced. Remember, in our question of wellness, somebody really did say balance, and really we need this balance. What we need to continuously do to work is to keep ourselves above the wellness line. Just think, we work on these things to maintain wellness as our lifestyle, so we do not get into illness. Okay. We also need to be aware of how all these, and that everything we do affects our brain, how much we move, what we eat, how we think, what environmental toxins are around us, and how we even maintain our stomachs. Many of us will say, Nako, I have a stomach ache or I have problems with my gut, without even realizing that you've not, whether it's toxins that you've eaten or something that you touched through the skin, everything affects us. So whoever touches our lives in any aspects, okay, affects us outside as well as inside our bodies. There definitely is a mind-body connection here, as well as a body-mind connection in whatever we do. So let's take a look at this, okay? The first pillar that I'd like to share is movement. Movement is so important. Our bodies need to move every day. It doesn't take much. So whether you are 20 years old, 15 years old, 40 years old, 50, 60, we need to move. From our brain to your joint, from your brain to your joints, moving every day has the power to improve your body, every part of your body. And this does not mean that you have to hire a trainer and do high intensity interval training or HIIT. Whatever you choose to implement, small movements into your daily routine, introduce an activity like cycling or yoga or walking around the block or Zumba. Movement is so important. If you've never moved or you've never done any activity before, start small. Do 10-minute full body stretches, or you can start walking. If you have a big yard, walk laps around your home. Then later you start walking around your village, stretch, do yoga, can you hear me now better? I can't kasi hear.
Very good. We can hear you.
Okay, thanks. Yoga, whatever you fancy, it really is, it's good. And then another thing is going for nature walks. If you are able, and now it's hard because we're all stuck at home, but going on nature walks is really one of the most healing activities you can gift yourself. Or even this, walking barefoot on the sand. It's so grounding. Go out, smell the flowers. These activities will move your muscles, will get your heart rate going, and give you a recharge just by being one with nature. The benefits of movement, really, there are so many. The 6 that I will mention is we have about 600 muscles in our body that contribute to about 40% of our total body weight.
By moving, you are stretching your muscles, and it improves stability, balance, coordination. Okay, bones also benefit from this because movement helps build more durable and denser bones. So you walk, weight training, a little bit of yoga, balance training. It's good for bone density. Your joints, as we get older, sumasakit our joints, our knee joints, our shoulders, our elbows, everything. We need to focus on keeping that alive. Our brain, studies show that walking 30 to 40 minutes 3 times a week can help regrow structures of the brain linked to cognitive decline in older adults. So the older we get, kailangan we move a little more. Kasi the more and now that we're all sitting and working from home, we really need to make an effort to get to stand. Okay. Our heart, we can actually reduce the risk of heart disease by 50%. That's what the British Heart Foundation says. If we keep walking, it will also improve our lungs, lung capacity, and lung function. Okay. And that's one of the things it's very good to do. Second, okay, let's move on to the second pillar. Food. Everything we do, I say this again, affects our brain. How much we move, what we eat, how we think, the environmental toxins are around us, even how you maintain your gut flora or your belly. Whether we like to admit it or not, diet plays an important role in our lives. Saying that we are what we eat is somewhat true. Whatever we eat affects our bodies, our minds, and our spirits. We may not realize it, but a lot of disease comes from what we put in our mouths. We need to be mindful and kind to our bodies. We need to be aware of what we put in our mouths because it affects our whole body. And here are things that we need to start being aware of. Just, make small changes. Eat real whole foods, free of additives and processed foods. I would simply say, stay away from canned goods. I know a lot of us have that tendency to keep canned goods at home, but stay away from the canned goods. One of the things that was very difficult for me to really find out was sugar is the devil. Whatever you do, sugar really affects you. And even more so dairy. I love cheese so much, but dairy produces a lot of issues that you will see later in the long run that will affect your gut flora. It produces mucus. So it's really time to start focusing on that. Now, some people will also be saying, no, I eat well, but why am I also sick? We might also have nutrient deficiencies like magnesium. Try to find out because, you'd be surprised. We actually, a lot of us lack magnesium or zinc and fatty acids in our diet. So we have to really fix our gut flora and that will automatically help us. Also, eat an anti-inflammatory diet. Okay, that means, if you think about this illness, this COVID that everybody's talking about, right? It gets into our lungs. But what happens when it gets into our lungs? It affects our whole internal system, our internal organs. And what it does is it starts to inflame everything. And that's what causes the complications in us. So if we are supporting this by eating an anti-inflammatory diet and eating a whole food diet, this sort of just even gives you a boost or a leg up already. It gives you the strength because you have to support your immune system, right? The French aromatherapist has taught us to use oils internally. So here in my water bottle, I have lemon oil, citrus oils to help my gut flora. That's all day long, That's quite good. Okay, next. One more thing. Sleep. Okay, sleep is a pillar of health that a lot of us do not really do often enough. I would blame Netflix for this, okay? Or the K-dramas that everybody's watching, or even BTS or whatever. Most adults need 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep on a regular basis. Feel rested and prepared. Okay, teenagers, so those moms who have teenagers, they need 8 to 10 hours. The school age kids need 10 to 12 hours. Toddlers, 11 to 14 hours. So we really need to be mindful of how much sleep we get, because sleep affects every tissue in our bodies. It affects growth and stress hormones, our immune system, our appetite. So if you don't get enough sleep, that can actually gain weight, believe it or not. It affects our breathing, our blood pressure, our cardiovascular health. Research actually shows that the lack of sleep increases the risk of obesity, heart disease, and infection. Enough sleep boosts immune system. It will prevent weight gain. It will strengthen your heart. Better moods. Kasi when you wake up, diba, if you sleep well, you're not masungit. And many of us, if we don't get enough sleep, we can get masungit, right? So sleep also improves memory. Okay. And this is why a lot of teenagers will say, like, I remember teaching teenagers, and I remember one, I would say, okay, we have a quiz. And then the kids would say, Miss, we didn't learn that. You didn't teach that to us. What happens there is that when kids are learning, they study, they go to class, but they don't sleep. What happens is that if they don't get enough sleep, they lose, okay, a portion of sleep where short-term memory translates to long-term memory. So they completely forget what they studied that day. So that's why they don't remember it. It didn't go to it didn't transfer to long-term memory. Okay. So how do you get enough sleep? Try to relax before bedtime. Try to minimize distractions and try to give yourself a, how do you say it? A curfew, finish or not finish. Close the TV, right? Turn off the TV. Because sometimes you can really get caught up with Netflix, right? This is where I use oils a lot. It's my favorite way to use essential oils because it really helps calm me. It helps ground me. So when I cannot sleep, I use an oil called frankincense, which is really such a lovely oil because it's very grounding, it's very calming, and it really helps relax me at night. And another oil called clary sage that helps me hormonally, and of course lavender. Lavender is really a calming oil. Okay, so we've talked about 3 pillars. Let's talk about the 4th pillar. Okay, meditate. Okay, our thoughts feel and in our body and our brain. Your immune cells know your deepest feelings. Our stem cells are wired to our brain and help us repair and regenerate. But they only turn and make new brain cells when we relax. So even if you think you're relaxing, but if your brain is like a monkey mind that's just constantly going out, you're really relaxed. Okay? In school, we were taught to read and write, but we were never taught skills on how to be happy and healthy. So one of the most important keys to long-term health and vitality is learning to relax. So to engage in powerful forces of the mind, you must do something. Learn to actively relax. And meditation is different from prayer. Prayer is very important. Okay? Prayer is important because we really need to have a relationship with our Lord to be able to move on in this life. Okay? But meditation is also, you have to train your mind to stop thinking about the past or stop thinking about the chismis of somebody else or stop thinking about the future or nako anong mangyayari. No, you really have to focus on clearing your mind to mentally prepare yourselves for what's most important today, the present moment. Diba? Sometimes kasi we can get caught up in sinabi kasi ni ganyan na ganito ako, ganyan. So there's so much mental chatter that you really don't need. And one way to learn how to relax is to do deep breathing exercises, going back to movement by walking into the park. We need to learn how to push the pause button. Okay, so make choices that make your life balanced. One of the things I've also learned to do is to practice saying no to others in a nice way and saying yes to yourself. Sometimes too many social activities, although it's the pandemic, so walang masyadong social, puro Zoom socials na lang tayo, but we have to learn how to say no to things that, right? And say yes to yourself for your sanity. Sleep, again, balik na naman tayo sa whole foods. And of course, meditation. Meditation, this was a nice headline in the LA Times. Meditation booms as people seek a way to slow down. I think that was one of the major benefits, I think, of this pandemic. It has taught us all to pause and relax and to sleep and relax. Studies show that people who meditate are happier and healthier. Okay? Helps us cope with emotional stress, imbalance. Okay. So I meditate because it helps quiet my monkey mind. It helps give me a blank canvas every morning so I can focus and be mindful of what I would like to achieve during the day. It helps rid my mind of the little unnecessary chatter that a mind can do to help give you negative thoughts. So if I have a big event like today, I was excited about coming to share with you my little knowledge on how to try and maintain a balanced life or keep up above the wellness line. It's nice to find a quiet time, focus, so you can be prepared. Okay, so my mind get filled with negative thoughts, and it would be tend to lose focus. So meditating really helps me focus. Okay. Our mind is an organ. Remember that. It's an organ and it can function properly if you train it. Okay. That's one of the things I think that's important to know. Okay. So the next one, the fifth pillar of health. Okay. These, first of all, these four pillars are not new. Okay. We are all familiar with all of this: food, movement, sleep, and meditation. I think I'm just putting it here in a different perspective. But we can use these same pillars to help heal our body and also keep our body at optimum levels, okay, above the wellness line. However, we know and we all do have the capacity to overdo it. We can over-exercise. We can overeat. We can forget sleeping kasi nga we're watching, I don't know, a mini series of Netflix the whole night. So what do we do? What do we need to do? We need to detox, okay? Inside and outside of the body. The Webster definition of detox is a process or a period of time in which one abstains or rids the body of toxins or unhealthy substances. Detoxification. So you improve your health and promote weight loss. When the general consensus, people say detox is laging pagkain. Really, detox has a lot to do with more than just food. Okay, it's often associated with food and diet, but there are many aspects of our lives that can also benefit from a good detoxification. Physically, okay, some people over-exercise to a point where they can break their bones or affect their muscles, and we really need to be mindful of that. Okay, food, overeating, that's basic. Okay, and medicine. Okay, don't get me wrong, I'm not against medicine or over-the-counter meds. Okay, what I really feel here is that we need to ask ourselves, why do we really need to take them first? Okay, I always have this first line of defense, right? I'll give you an example because sometimes medicines actually may affect us in a negative way more than help us. Okay, for example, if you have a headache, and I remember this vividly when I was young, because my mom, admittedly, she's not here, but she's a pill popper. So I remember when I was younger, I'll tell her I have a headache. Ay, Marilyn, just take this, take Constant, take Advil. Right away, it was a pill. Now I'm a little more discerning. Okay, I'm a little more discerning, and I start to think, why do I have a headache? So you could think, did I watch too much TV last night and I didn't sleep? Did I drink too much red wine? That's why I'm hungover. Did I not drink enough water? If I'm able to answer these questions and try maybe water first, it might help. Or did I eat too much sugar? So better to find out the cause of the issue, okay, and reach out to more natural modalities before going into meds, because medicines treat the symptom, not the cause. So detoxing, medicines alone helps. It really helps. In the maybe 5 years, I don't take any over-the-counter drugs anymore until I really even I knock on wood now, because I used to catch a cold so frequently, so easily. But because I've helped boost my immune system and protect my immune system by, following these 5 pillars and also using, aromatherapy to help me, in the onset of a cold, if I have sniffles, I have an oil like oregano. Our lolas used to do this, guys. If you think about it, we have lolas who are very familiar with using herbal medicine. And this is no different. It's just more social because they're in bottles na, in that sense. Okay, so it's crazy this way, right? Another way, another detox is friends, social. Okay, you may not realize it, but sometimes we have um, people around us that are negative, and that can create negative emotions in your lives. It can create anxiety, stress, especially if they mean you more harm than they mean good, right? So emotional stress and anxiety can affect you so much, and you need to also detox that from your brain and from your your brain, your mind, and your body. Okay, what we eat or drink also affects our liver, so we need to be careful, again, going back to what we eat. Okay, then another thing we have to detox, we don't realize this, but outside of our body we can, there's a word called bioaccumulation, and we may not realize it, but many times our cleaning products at home, okay, can affect us. Let's just give you an example. From the minute you wake up to a time you go to breakfast, you would have, you wake up, you dress up, you brush your teeth, you go down, have breakfast. You would have already been exposed to maybe 300 to 400 different toxins, from your toothpaste to your shampoo to your soap to your makeup to your lotion. It's called bioaccumulation. All these products that you buy in the grocery, the FDA has approved all of them because they have just very little toxins. May konting toxin dito, may konting toxin dyan, like phthalates, sulfates. But what we really don't realize here is that we've accumulated that by 8:30 in the morning. Ang dami mo ng toxin sa body mo. And there's a buildup every day for the last 30 years that you've been using this. Lysol, Clorox, Sunrock, ang linis, di ba? But all of that can affect you. You think your floor is clean. Even your dogs get affected by bioaccumulation, by all these toxins. So it's really crazy. Another toxic detox is mental. Toxic work environment, stressful home environment, toxic relationships. We all need to detox that from our lives to be able to achieve wellness. Everything, again, we do affects the brain, and how much we move everything. So if we are feeling emotionally imbalanced, stressed, we have anxiety, we have mental fatigue, there is a way of reaching the brain. And this is how we are going to connect the body and the brain. But, before that, okay, you are really your own best advocate. You are the one that goes grocery shopping, okay? So this is the reason why I really switched to more plant-based products, because it's a commitment. Okay, learning about natural alternative takes commitment, and embracing, essential oils and natural plant-based products is a journey. Okay, it's one of the reasons why I went through aromatherapy. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. If there are any questions before I continue, I'll stop for a while. VP?
Hi, Len. There are no questions on the chat box right now, but we are going to open the room for anybody who wants to ask a
Shall
question.
I share or stop? Okay, stop muna.
Stop.
Okay, there. No
Yes.
questions?
No questions in the chat box for now, but we can
Bing?
open it for
Bing, you're
live
muted.
questions.
Bing, you're muted.
Here.
How long do we have to meditate? And how do you meditate?
Yeah. It's difficult, I have to say, okay? It's difficult, especially in the beginning. You can start 2 minutes, even 2 to 5 minutes to start your meditation practice, 2 to 5 minutes. Okay? I like to start it at the beginning of my morning, a meditation and prayer. So Bing, you know what I like to use? There's an app called Calm, CAL, Calm. I'll put it in the chat box. And it has guided meditations that can help calm you, clear your mind. And to me, I really recommend, especially new people, to get into this app so that you are guided on how to sit quietly, to clear your mind, imagine all these. I know it's difficult because not everybody is able to really do this, no? But it is a journey and it can, kaya yan. Trust, kayang kaya.
There's also another app that I used. It's called Insight Timer.
Yes, that's also
Insight
a good one.
Timer, they have it in minutes. So if you're looking at really short meditation processes, or somebody who's guiding you to talk, or sometimes you want music lang, you can
Yeah.
go on Insight Timer. It says 2 minutes, 3 minutes, so it's not nakakagulat. Yeah, you can try
Inside
that.
time. Yes. And with that, it also tracks it tracks your meditation. So it's quite nice. And then they have live. If you want to go live, meditate with so many other people, kaya rin, pwede rin. So it's good. Okay,
Yeah.
so if
That was a good question. Thank you.
okay, so if not, shall we continue? So I'm almost done. Okay, here we go. Basic. Okay, share. Here we go again with my okay, new share. Okay, so
You're on rehearse. You can do it again with
there, I'm good.
good.
Okay, so I was talking about bioaccumulation. I was talking about all that. So going now into how
How
the
do we
body,
connect?
where was I? The body and the mind. How do we connect the mind and the body, right? Because I was telling you that the gut, what we eat affects us, how we think affect us. Okay, let's look at this photo. Okay, when you look at this photo, it actually shows you, right, that there's a woman who's smelling a beautiful flower. And right away, when you see this woman, you say, wow, she looks like she's in love, or she looks like she's smelling something that, I don't know, maybe her husband, ex-boyfriend, now husband, gave her flowers before. So when she's smelling it, she remembers her husband, or how they fell in love, there's a symbiotic relationship between plants and human beings. I mentioned that before. And she's smelling the aroma of a rose. And how does this relate to our brain? Okay, olfaction, okay, or the capacity of smelling, or the sense of smell. The minute you smell a rose or anything, aroma, it goes straight into up your olfactory receptors in your nose, and it immediately responds and sends signals to your brain, which promotes dynamic physiological changes. These signals are sent to what we call the limbic system of our brain. Now, I'm not a scientist, okay? I was a history teacher. I was never good in science, but I would try to explain this, just a short way to show you how our mind and our bodies. So the limbic system of our brain, I would like to call it the CPU of our bodies. Okay, this is the part of the brain that's involved with emotions, our memories. Okay, so if you look at, instantly it will stimulate thoughts. So this woman smells the rose. Instantly, it's reminding her of her ex-boyfriend, now husband, or something else. Like, for instance, I have a friend of mine, every time she smells pandesal, it reminds her of her lola. Isn't it true that every time you smell something like cookies, even if you're full or you just ate a whole meal, you want to eat the cookie? Or if you're smelling inihaw, you want to eat the inihaw. It triggers your olfactory sensations. It triggers something in you that wants to do something. So these aromas, these simple, powerful aromas, cannot be ignored by the brain because of the sense of smell, direct connection to the brain. The brain connects with the body through our nose, through our breath. So imagine how powerful the breath or our nose is, and how powerful aroma is. Okay. Here is the little brain here, okay? The limbic system is the emotional brain. It deals with basic emotions, okay? Fight or flight. If there's a fire, will you run away or will you go up and save the baby who's stuck in a room? That's where you smell that smell of fire, you will run, okay? It's our drive. If you are tinatamad, will you want to work or not? But if you smell something that will help trigger your brain to get, like if you smell the aroma of rosemary, rosemary will incite you to want to work. Okay. So our limbic system responds to smell. Our sense of smell is the only way we can connect to our emotional brain. And believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, 99% of our reaction to our life decisions is based on emotions. So if you have negative emotion, you're going to respond to a life decision negatively, right? So you kind of want to be a little more positive about it, right? So okay guys, remember the woman smelling the flower. I'm sure pinakasalan niya yung lalaki who gave her that flower, right? So emotionally, there's that feeling of love. Love is a feeling, that's an emotion. So, we make those decisions based on emotion. Okay, looking at this little brain here, okay, the limbic system supports our sense of smell, our emotions, our behavior, our motivation, our long-term memory, blood pressure, and even hormones. Okay, aroma travels and affects our brain on a cellular level. Essential oils travel and affects our brain to help, release memory, release baggage. It's really crazy in that way. No medicine can do this. You can't, no medicine. If you smell pandesal and remember your lola and lola, no medicine will do that. Or if you smell an aroma of something beautiful like roses and remember happiness, no medicine can do that. These powerful aromas really cannot be ignored by the brain because of the sense of smells connection. Essential oil therapy, which is aromatic and topical, is a modality that cannot be ignored. Immediately, it influences and begins correcting emotional imbalance, and these oils rapidly and profoundly affect the body at several levels to improve your physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional well-being. Western pharma can try to mimic one action of a chemical constituent of an essential oil, but only one. Okay, they cannot do more than one. You will have, like, lavender can calm you emotionally. If you have a skin issue, lavender can calm your skin. If you have an emotional issue, lavender can calm you there too. Okay, so, and it's not new. This is not new. Okay, essential oils have been used since time immemorial. Cleopatra has used it. Um, our Mother Mary actually received gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And frankincense is an essential oil that's come out from the resin tree, the resin of frankincense tree, and it's so grounding. And frankincense works on a cellular level. It's really, really, really powerful. Okay. So, what are essential oils and how do they play a key role in making changes in our lives? Essential oils are the plant's life force. They are volatile chemical compounds from plants, and they oxygenate, regulate, and heal plants as they do the same for humans. Therapeutic grade essential oils rapidly affect the body at several levels to improve physical, spiritual, and mental well-being. Okay, we use oils, we have been using it for centuries. Okay, we use it topically, aromatically, and internally. Okay, and I use oils also all throughout the 5 pillars of health. In movement, there are oils that can help for muscles, muscle pain. In food, eat peppermint, lemon, all of these oils are so helpful for sleep, for emotions, and for detox. All the oils are helpful in this way. Okay. So this is the ending now. My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. Okay. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'll just post this if you want to reach out to us. I have my email here. Okay.
You can take a screenshot or write it down. Marilyn, there was a question on the
Okay.
chat box while you were talking. If you can recommend a plant-based cleaner.
Oh yes,
You take
definitely.
away the toxins in your home.
Yes, I can recommend Thieves household cleaner. It's called Thieves for a funny reason. The 15th century, in the 15th century, funnily
Pandemic.
enough, the pandemic of the 15th century called the Black Plague, there were people who, so many people died. And the only people, there were three groups of people that survived. The priests, okay, the, the, the priests, the people who dug the graves and buried the people, and the thieves, okay? And when the thieves were caught, they asked, why did you survive? How did you survive the pandemic? What was your secret? And if you tell us your secret, we will commute your sentence. That's what the thieves said. And funnily enough, they used what they call Marseille vinegar. They put it in like, the it's like a little nozzle. They had lemon inside the nozzle. They had rosemary, they had lemon, they had clove, okay? And then they had
Cinnamon bark.
sorry?
Cinnamon bark.
Cinnamon bark, okay? And they had all four of that. They called this blend the Marseille vinegar, and they put it there because for them, akala nila, they were just covering it to mask the smell of the dead and the dying as they were stealing. But what it really did was it actually boosted their immune system and protected them. What the thieves household cleaner actually gave it a boost. They added eucalyptus radiata into this cleaner, and that is such a lovely household cleaning product. I can show you a photo of it, of this product. Well, you can get in touch with us and I can share with you how to purchase it later on.
Patapos na. Late ako ng nalimutan ko.
Yes.
Yeah. So there are no more questions on the box. But that's basically it. And oh, by the way, that cleaner can actually be, it's so versatile because you can use it for washing your hands and like natural soap to wash your hands, and even a spray instead of alcohol. Okay, please.
Correct. I actually use it to wash all my masks also. Your washable face
About the
masks.
homemade
So that gives an
cleaner.
added protection also for that. I also use homemade
There are questions here.
homemade cleaner.
Homemade
How
cleaner.
about a homemade cleaner?
Homemade cleaner.
You can use, yes. You can use baking soda. I like to use baking soda and vinegar to clean tiles. Vinegar is very good. Datu puti, I don't get the imported vinegar. Masyadong mahal. You can use the simple datu puti to clean vinegar and water. Some people will say it's mabaho. The secret there is it doesn't smell matagal. That the smell of datu puti doesn't last so long because it just dissipates. If you want to add a little lemon rind in that, the peel of the lemon, that can help too. Okay. There's a question about Parkinson's disease.
Yeah. What essential oil do you recommend for Parkinson disease?
First of all, I'm not a doctor or a healthcare provider. However, it would be ideal for you to see, maybe, is this Al? Maybe we can talk after. I can recommend, I can do a little bit of research, but I need to talk to you more to know more about you before I can share what oil I can recommend that you can start using to help, with some tremors, right? Parkinson's disease has some yeah. So
yeah,
it's very difficult to be sharing, talking about what can help you, because you might be using another modality that might not complement the essential oil therapy.
Yeah. What oil did you use? What oils do you use for this pandemic?
For this pandemic, one of my favorite oils to keep with me is oregano. Oregano, thieves, and frankincense. Those are my 3 daily oils. I always have that because oregano is very, I would consider it like an antibacterial and antifungal. So every time before I go to the grocery, I mix frankincense, oregano, and rosemary, eucalyptus, and all that. And I rub it under the soles of my feet. And that is one way I protect myself already from and protect myself, meaning my immune system, keeping my immune system strong. So it's not like it's like a shield. It's like an invisible shield, because then I've elevated my immune system in that sense.
I think also during this pandemic, there are a lot of us who are going through different things. So some people lack sleep, so they'd probably like to use something else like lavender and frankincense again, right? Or it really all depends on what you're going through, because wellness is a whole thing. It can be physical, mental, and emotional. So we go back to the 5 pillars to go to what is it really that's the root cause of it all. There's another question here. What brand of essential oil do you use? That's from Marinela Santiago.
Hi, Marinela. Thank you for your question. That's a very good answer, because there are so many essential oils in the market now. The key here is to find one that you trust. And I trust a company that shows me history, okay, that they've been producing oils for over 25 years. They own their farms. They give you the seed to seal promise. This is young living oils. They give you a seed to seal promise, but they make sure that the oils that they have come straight from their farms and then straight to the bottle, and they do third-party testing. And honestly, they're the only ones that I can trust to ingest, because I ingest. I make my own little veggie cap medicines through using essential oils, and I will not use anything that I don't trust. So I use Young Living oils. Yes.
Do you always have to put the oils in the diffuser, or can you put it on your forehead or pulse points? That's from Bing Bing.
I don't always use a diffuser. Sometimes I use it neat. I put it on the palms of my hand like this, okay, or my wrist, behind my ears, on my shoulders, on my lower back. So if I have a lower back pain, I massage a little bit of wintergreen and eucalyptus, or even some marjoram with I use virgin coconut oil. So that's what I do.
What you said? What earlier? What brand do you recommend?
I use Young Living, Tita.
Young Living.
Yes.
We can put it up again, Marilen's contact details. So if you just want a little bit more information about it, she can talk to you directly. You can reach either of us for it.
Here.
There it is. There.
Wait.
There. So you can contact us for more details.
Connect with me on IG, Simple Senorita. I share recipes. I share when we have workshops. I share a lot of things there, not only oils, lifestyle, wellness. Okay. Anything? Okay, na?
Okay. No more questions in the chat. I think we are okay.
I have a question.
There.
Are all these essential oils, are they all imported?
Yes, the company opened here almost 3 years ago. So all the oils, about a good number of oils, are available in the local market already.
But they're not manufactured here.
No, there's one. However, Young Living owns one farm here in the Philippines. It's called the Happy Pili Farm, and we produce elemi, which is a lovely oil from pili nuts. And it's lovely for the skin. I use it to make my face serums, because I also make my own face moisturizer. I also make my own soaps. Now, I just buy a base of Castile soap, and I produce my own soaps. I make my own face creams. But of course, you don't have to do that. You can purchase your own natural plant-based cleaners.
I use essential oils. My daughter's friend mixed several oils for me because my main complaint was I always cough when
Mm,
I lie down or
mm,
when I'm in a place where probably dust has
mm,
accumulated.
mm,
And
mm.
it has helped me a lot.
Yes.
So, but I don't know what she mixes, what oils she mixes. I just order from her.
That's lovely, Tita, but that's so true because the oils, aromat therapeutic grade aromatic oils really open airway passages. So the minute you inhale the aroma, it really helps clear your lungs, helps your lung capacity and your lung function. So that's wonderful. That's great.
Yeah, I rub it on my neck,
Yeah.
rubbed
Oh,
on my,
wonderful. Yes.
yes.
I have a feeling, I have a feeling that maybe part of that it has eucalyptus, it has myrtle. In fact, my father-in-law just recently recovered from COVID. We had a very scare, a really a big scare there for a while because he's 88 years old, and it was really so fearful for us to have him in the ICU for so long. And now that he's recovering, I've been making him some essential oil, an inhaler that has helped open his airway passages. So he uses the inhaler to help increase oxygen levels in his bloodstream. And then I also help him with his breathing exercises because to help lung capacity and function. So it's the modality helps. Essential oils help, but there's so much more to keeping above the wellness line. It's also keeping up with the five pillars of health. Yeah.
There is a question here that says there have been few studies researching on essential oils as a supplementary treatment for COVID. I think you just mentioned that. Do you think that they are a viable treatment worth researching further?
I agree. Yes. Yes, they are. But I also have to stress you really need, hi, Michelle, you really need to focus on the right oil. You have to make sure, because there are many brands out there, that it's the therapeutic grade essential oils that you will use to supplement in treating COVID. Okay. Right now, I've treated because I have friends who have asked for my help after having COVID to help bring back the sense of smell because apparently this pandemic has caused the loss of sense of smell. And we have been using a few oils like rosemary, grapefruit. There are a few oils that we've combined to help bring back the sense of smell. Then another issue they're having is lung capacity. So that one also we're using a few other blends that we have to help improve lung capacity as we do our breathing exercises. So yes, right now there's no medical book that will tell you have COVID, take these medications. We need to learn to use food, diet, exercise as our healing modalities to help get us out of this pandemic.
Is it safe to mix different brands of essential oils?
Um, like I said, I would, if you trust the oils that you have, if you know that they are therapeutic, because there can be three kinds of oils that are supposed to be pure. Okay, some are mixed from different species. They can consider that pure, but sometimes and then some are mixed with other carrier oils, so you don't know unless you know the company that you're buying and purchasing the oils from. I cannot guarantee that you can mix it or that it is safe. Okay.
But vetiver, peace and calming, valor, can these oils be used together? I use them together. I personally use them together. I wake up with vetiver. I like peace and calming for and I put it in a diffuser actually because it starts off my day very well, peaceful, grounded but brave. So that's why I like that name.
I used Valor today to give me the courage and the strength to be able to speak properly to all of you. Yes, yes, you can use it. Correct. Yes, Beryl. It's lovely to use oils. Don't be afraid to experiment and mix the oils, especially if you know the you know where they're coming from.
And I think the oils is really a very personal journey. So some of us would use valor differently than others, lavender differently than others. So the important thing about this is also like being in a community like yours. I think it's having friends to talk about it. It really matters. Community really is the driving force of having relationships. It has to be an intentional process to be well and be with the right people to be well with, so you can have extraordinary relationships, which seems like you all have with
Yeah.
each other.
Yes.
Ay, nawala na naman eh.
Now we can hear you, Tita. Tita, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
we can hear you.
Can you see this?
No.
It says Meiji healing oil for sleeping.
Oh, nice, Tita. You keep using it. That will help you.
Mm-hmm. I just put it in my pillows.
That's a one way of using aromatherapy. You can put it directly on your pillow, and the aromas alone will help calm you as you sleep.
Or just put it
Lovely,
in.
Tita. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Michelle. Nice to see you in our chat. Michelle was the classmate of my daughter from grade 1 to 7, right, Karen? Grade 1 to 7, they were in the same school. Now they're in college already.
I feel old.
Yeah. No, in fact, my daughter is also an avid user of oils. We have a blend for teenagers, specifically teenagers who have emotional outbreaks, especially women, especially girls, when they have their monthly visitor. We call it dragon time because it brings out the dragon in the teenagers. So my daughter uses it for PMS when she has, like stomach cramps. She doesn't realize I give it to her also para she's not so emotional. And it helps her.
Okay.
There seems to be no more questions on the chat, Glenn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Karen, Bing, I think we're good.
Okay.
You're on mute.
Bing, you're on mute, Bing.
Karen.
No more questions?
No more.
No more. But you have the contact details of Marilyn. So if you think of something after this talk, or you want to know more about the products that she just mentioned, you can also contact her directly. I think that's the best way also. We have her contact details. No?
I'll put my email here again, on the chat.
Yeah, you can.
We can post it in our CWL Viber chats, and also for the PPC if they want.
Thank you, Marinella. So email me if you have any questions. If you're interested to, smell a few oils, I can send you an aroma box.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We actually do workshops where we send aroma boxes, and then you just smell it as we talk about each oil. So if you want me to do that for you guys, I'd be happy and glad to talk about the oils with you in detail. Because today it was really more about our wellness journey. But if you want to know more about each oil and how each oil can help you, we'd be happy to do another workshop for you.
Good. Thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you.
Thank you, VP.
Thank you for having us.
So thank you so much, Marilyn, for your time and for presenting this very informative webinar, because I mean it's really great to go natural. So essential oils is up there in the list, diba?
Yes.
From as you mentioned, from household cleaning agents to ways of making you sleep, calm you down, and all those. So that's very interesting, but it's a lot of info also to process.
Yes.
So I think our listeners are also a bit overwhelmed by all the info from the pillars of wellness to all the way to essential oils. But thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, and also thank you to the listeners for your time and for um, participating actively. Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
had 55 listeners at one point.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
that's
Do
in
you
Zoom,
get
right?
points
That's in
for
the
that?
Zoom.
Do you get points for that, Bing?
And by
This
the
is
way, this webinar is recorded. So if you want to go back, if you want to watch the whole replay, or if you have friends who are interested and they missed out on this talk because they have other schedules to attend to, this webinar is going to be uploaded in SSAP's Facebook and YouTube links. So yeah, Marilyn, no
thank
escaping
you.
yan. We get to watch you.
Okay, thank you. Bye,
Thank you
ladies
so
and gentlemen.
much.
Thank you. See you
Okay.
again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Okay, bye-bye.
Before we end, we'd like to share our video, the
Yeah,
video
yeah,
of
yeah.
CWL. Okay.
Yeah, watch it,
Um,
Marilyn.
Okay.
watch it there.
Anita, I was okay, thank you.
Okay.
Member of CWL for 41 years and was recruited by my neighbors Lita Maliksi and Linda Chikiamco.
It was in the year 2000 when I joined CWL, so that was 21 years ago. It was my sister, Ching Montinola, who invited me.
I've been a CWL member for 25 years. It was difficult but invited me. Join the CWL SSAP.
I have been a member of the CWL Santuario de San Antonio Parish for 36 years. I was invited to be a member by then President CWL Barbara Go in 1985.
I've been with the CWL for 10 years, and I was invited by my mother, Belpo, and my sister-in-law, Zari.
I have been a CWL member since 2015, recruited by Bing Bing Quiros.
I joined CWL 8 years ago when I first moved from the United States. It was my cousin Karen Limpe that introduced me to CWL.
I've been a member for 8 months now. I was invited to CWL by the Poe family, Tita Belle, Zari, Shubi, Mickey, and Nilette, who I've known in the parish for many years.
I enjoy doing the medical mission where we help and assist 800 to 1,000 indigent patients where they can get adult and pedia consultation, minor surgery, pap smear, dental procedures, eyeglasses, and we also feed them. That's the most fun thing is when we give them Shakey's Pizzas and Dunkin' Donuts.
CWL Clinic will serve underprivileged individuals and families. We ensure everyone being served orderly from doctor's consults to prescribed medications. I enjoy medical clinic as it makes me feel good, seeing their faces with a priceless smile leaving the clinic.
Ever since I joined CWL, I have been involved with palm sales. We would be given our schedules, what time of day. We would stand outside the parish to offer parishioners the palms. It gets so exciting when there are a lot of people around our table, because I know we will be able to raise funds for our Ola seminarians and the parish.
The scholarship program is one of the many activities of CWL SSAP. Currently, we have 32 scholars both in high school and college, supported by generous CWL members and friends. We hope that in our monthly interactions, we could inculcate in them good Christian morals and values.
CWL promotes the sacraments by spearheading the Libre Villa Google Casal during the parish festa. I'd like to say that the Libre Casal is my favorite. We are a team that prepares the big day for 30 couples from ceremony to the reception, everything free. But more importantly, preparing them spiritually for their union. I just love seeing the joy in their faces after receiving the grace of the sacrament of matrimony.
I particularly enjoy being a part of the annual Buling presentations because it brings out the fun in our sisterhood. I always look forward to our practice sessions, not just to learn the dance moves, but because it is a chance to catch up with everyone. And of course, there is always delicious food served. Yum!
The Pamaskong Handog is one of my favorite activities in CWL. It's the last outreach activity we have for the year. We prepare about 1,000 bags ready for distribution to those less fortunate in our community so that they may have a little Noche Buena at home. It's a great activity for the Christmas season.
The greatest benefit of being a CWL member is sisterhood, the feeling of belonging to a group of women that showed me the reason why we have to help in livelihood programs and religious instruction.
CWL stands for charity, work, and loyalty, but for me it means much more than that. Our sisterhood has instilled in me a deeper appreciation of what it truly means to work together in the service of others. I sincerely hope our female parishioners would consider joining CWL so we can share with them this special sisterhood.
I became aware of the enormous gifts that God has given me and my stewardship responsibility for these gifts. I was able to realize and use the 3 T's of these gifts: talent, time, and treasure. Doing all these 3, in the end, I realized that I am achieving the role of why God created me: to know, to love, and to serve Him.
The bond of friendship and fellowship is very strong in CWL. Working closely with my League of Sisters in an atmosphere of love and encouragement has developed and awakened in me a firm spirit of acceptance, a strong sense of service and leadership, and an unwavering commitment to God and neighbor.
Stiff and formal CWL uniform? Nah, don't be fooled.
We move hard, but know how to move to the beat. We work hard, really, but we can also be silly.
So, if you want to grow in your spirituality, be of service, live your faith, and have fun while making a difference in our parish community, come join Catholic Women's League SSAP.